afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to do a couple things. One, we need to clean because there's some trash, a lot of trash. Two, we need to finish this rock wall. Now, this is going to be a quick one because, as I said in my previous video, I'm not really a rock wall kind of person. But let me go over what's been done so far. Went out and got about, for about this size, about a yard of this 1/4-inch gravel and sand mixture. It compacts pretty easily, and it's pretty nice to work with when you have something small like this. Theoretically, you could also put it underneath pavers, but you're going to have just a lot of water issues primarily. I guess if that's not really a concern, it's a lot easier. We're doing a very small section, like something like this would be fine. How much water could really be collected right there, and if you have adequate drainage on either side, not a problem. But because it's such a small amount of space, I'm going to be using that just to make it easier to work with. So really the hardest part is to get the first level done. First level, I took a rototiller. I don't see it anymore, it's somewhere. But I took a rototiller and softened the dirt up because it's just going to be difficult to work with if it's hard. And I was going to go down a couple inches. At that point, I'm going to level the dirt. Let me go grab a tool real quick. So basically all that's what you need. A couple stakes, tape measure, some line. Stake it out, and then you can put a line level like I did before. I did, and I leveled the string. At that point, I put some of this rock down on the bottom. I leveled it by hand to my eye the first time, and then once I have the rocks down, I go down with my rake, which at this point is not the leveling rake idea, it's just a normal rake, because it's a smaller area, of course. And then leveled it out. I then took a like a little hand compactor. I'll show you that. It's just a 10 by 10 hand compactor. Like I said, it's a pretty small area, so you could do this, just pound it down, and then make sure it's nice and compressed. That way, you can limit the amount of droop or settling. If you hear a lot of airplanes, it's because I live next to a small little airport. And today, I think they're having some type of retro day. I've seen a lot of older style airplanes. I'll see if I can get a couple videos of any of them. They seem to make their way, but I don't know if this camera's going to catch it up. So, once it's done, that's why all this extra is in here. I'm going to lay the first level down, which is done. This one has 2. Over in that hilly area, it has 3. This is going to be about 2 feet tall. That's the maximum for this brick. When you buy it, it will have specifications on what can and cannot be, how tall it can be put on or installed. The brick themselves, let's get this out of the way. Are these, it's going to be better quality. These are the bricks themselves. They have this whole design on the front. They're kind of nice. They have this lip. That lip is going to go on the bottom and the back, obviously. I think I hear another airplane. Anyway, and that just kind of keeps it from shifting forward when dirt and or sand is pushing against it. And it's also a good way to kind of help line them up. Most bricks are going to be having this type of angle cut into them, and the reason why is because, let's go over here, I'll show you. If it's flat, you're not going to tell. Obviously, leave it open, you can, but if you ever need to do any type of bends, it prevents you from having to cut it, which cutting these would not be easy. So, the same thing right here, and then the gap gets wider going the opposite direction. So I'm going to put the next couple layers down. After I got about 2 layers down, which is where we're standing currently, put the rest of the gravel behind it. It's going to be a lot wider. I'm not going to put nearly that much behind it. I'm going to be taking a shovel. And once you get to a certain point, obviously the paver is going to be a lot taller at this when I do this, but you just kind of take a shovel and move it forward. Compact it a little bit. At that point, you don't want to push over the blocks, obviously, but you do want to kind of have a sturdy section. And then at that point, all this dirt needs to be moved over here to kind of help level. I'm hoping I don't have to get more. I'm really hoping I don't have to get more. But there's a possibility I might have to. That's a different project. So, what I'm going to do now, it's really nothing special. I'm just going to put them the way that they are now. As you can tell, you kind of want to stagger them. You don't want to put them straight. As you can see, the lines don't really match up. This kind of encourages more sturdiness. The hard part is the ends. So when you start staggering them, they'll those be harder, but we'll take care of that when the time comes. So I think I'm gonna have a few left over, because as I said, this is the one that when I bought them, it would be cheaper if I bought a whole lot more than if I just bought what I needed. So it's either that or those are the toppers. I guess we'll find out. But there should be more than enough here for 2 feet of height. If that's too tall, I might even just take some down and maybe sell them on the internet or something. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll bring you back once I get a little bit further along and kind of go over it. One thing I did forget to mention, when you do this, see how there's rocks on top because when I was shoveling it didn't quite make it all the way in. Take a broom or your hand or something, just make sure it's clean before you do anything. That way the brick doesn't have anything impeding a level lane, or just making sure it's level more or less. So something I wanted to bring up. Okay, so this is the block, obviously, and like I said, it's not very hard, just labor intensive. It's literally like this. Grab such block, put the lip down, line it up to the other one, push forward until the lip is secure, check the front, make sure it looks okay, and then grab another one and start over. Pretty simple. Okay, so it's not done yet. I still have another row or two to go. It's definitely coming along. You ever have that feeling that you're just going to have to get more dirt? I do. So my fear is I don't want to slope everything down, because that defeats the purpose of, drainage away from the house. But where that big hill is anyway, it's already high. So I'm gonna see, but if anything, I'll have to get like a yard, or maybe I'll find some dirt behind the house. Oh well. So I mean, pretty standard. Just put them in there, stack them. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high. Over there's starting that one area, that's 5 high where I stopped. Maybe one more after I stopped, actually. So I wanted to go to 6. I think I might have ordered a few too many. It's only 33 each, roughly. And I have maybe 15 more to go. So let's say 35 and 15, that's 50. I don't think this is 50. So I'm going to have a few extras. There's a couple ideas I have for these, though. They're not going to be wasted. Something I was kind of thinking is, wow, this area is going to be kept more natural. There's going to be rock and everything's going to be cleaned out pretty significantly. The hostas will stay, but the weeds and everything obviously are going to go. Those natural rocks might go, just because the wall's going to be right there. And then where that empty space is, oh, there's my stake. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was talking about when I was leveling it. Anyway, just because it'd be a little bit more uniform. But then to find a place for those rocks, I don't know. I'll have to talk to the Miss PNW on that one to see what her thoughts are on it. I like the idea of both, really. Probably just keep them. It looks nice with all the other natural rock. But yeah, there are a couple here that have no, they're the wrong color, if you can tell. They put that in the bottom shelf of the middle of the pallet, so you couldn't see it from the outside, and you couldn't tell from the top either. You can only tell from the bottom. And I didn't know until the very end, so I have like 4 or 5, maybe 6, I don't remember, different colored. Usually, if I discovered I had like a piece was broken on one of the faces, I would use it in an area that's not going to be seen very much. Like right here, the only person that's going to be here is me. So I kind of do this as an example. See this? It's coming off. This one is already off. Usually I would just leave that. Now I'm going to take it off and put another one on because I have so many. But if you were to ever run into a situation where you had a couple of the face piece broken and you're running out and you don't feel like having to buy more, you could easily just do that. It wouldn't be a problem. But you know, it's one of those things. Do you want to have to do that? Do you want to have an ugly area, but then who's going to see it? The only people who are going to be over here is me and maybe a few close friends. So I think I'm going to break for lunch. It's like 11:30, 11:45, something like that. I'm going to start my smoker, which I'm going to use my brand new smoking area. Something I also mentioned, if you need to use your broken pavers, I'm going to put mine on the bottom of my smoker, so in case it leaks grease or anything, it will not stain my good paver. So I'm going to go break for lunch. I'll bring it back. After this, we're going to be doing the topper. I might have to fill the dirt in first. I'll probably have to fill the dirt in. Never mind that one. The next step after this is we're going to do the steps. The steps will have the toppers on them and these brick, so that's going to eat up a couple more of these. That's good. We will see what we have. I just have a feeling that I don't remember ordering that many. Let's do some quick math. If Now this is already 1 high. Let's just say that's half. Conservatively, that's half, so that's 15 extra right there. We're just gonna lob off the numbers. If it's 30, let's even round up. 35. Let me grab my phone. I'm trying to use this with a calculator. It's not easy on the camera, but let's see. 35 times 6 is 210. Plus the 15. Then the steps are going to be about 6 steps, 4 wide. What is that? That's 24 more. Let's just say 25 for even numbers. 250. Yeah, well, that explains it. I definitely might have ordered too many. Not sure how I got it wrong, because I had calculated out a lot differently. But even then, these were $380 a piece. I have an extra 100. It's extra $380 I spent. But I can, like I said though, I can just put them somewhere else. I think I remember why I did that now. I originally had an idea of even putting some around this area on the tree too. That's not going to work very well, because the area from like where that dirt starts going around the tree in a nice little circle and probably stopping at where the tip of that rake is, it's going to be grass, everything behind it, and then going straight this way. Anything in front of it was going to be plants, so that wouldn't have worked. I think, yeah, I must have ordered them with the assumption of doing something that was in the previous plan. See, let this be a lesson. Don't do this when you're in a hurry. It was a busy day that day. So, we do some thinking and we'll come back. So life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. I think I discovered an idea. To maybe those white crappy chairs, which are going to be recycled here shortly. And obviously all this stuff is going to be moved and put in its proper place behind the shed. Extend this wall down on the line, which means I'm going to have to level it out. The hard part is this stupid tree and its roots. Because now let's get a tape measure. So this shed is going to be moved from there to the other side of the tree. It's an 8x8 shed. So I need to have a way to walk around the shed to then take a lawnmower or something to go in the front yard to go down this pathway, which at a different point in time is going to have compacted gravel installed on it. But I'm going to need to have enough space to walk around. So let's move all this crap out of the way and do some measuring. And understandably, this is not a rock wall video, but this is a planning for a rock wall section of this video. So a couple things you have to remember. Garage dog comes out here, so beware. And two of those buzzing things are the gopher, mole, whatnot. So that tape measure is laid out to 8 feet. There should be plenty of space on the other side of it to do that. So that's going to take it's going to taper off, but it's going to take 2, so that's 8 feet. Let's just say that's another 5 feet. They're 6 inches wide. So that's, let's just say 6 feet, so that's 14. That's not 28 long. I guess it could be. Yeah, could be. Just say 25 for easy numbers. 2 rows high, so that's 50. Oh, yeah, I'll still have like 50 or so left over. But we also have to remember is these are the pavers or the rocks that I had to buy more of to get a better price on. Because that's how many, like, per pallet. For whatever reason, because it was how they had to order it, it was odd, but let's just play it that way. And then the same thing goes with these. These were only 1 pallet though. That's the most definite thing, like I had to order more. But these, because they had certain number in different store, certain number in different store, had to order a certain number. The manufacturer wasn't going to deliver it unless it was a full pallet from them. So my assumption would have been to just order a full pallet from them and not another pallet or half pallet or whatever from a different store, and to save everyone a whole lot of time. But that's a different story for a different day of why apparently that was impossible to do. Anyway, so that's what we'll do. We'll have about 50 left over. So if anyone's watching this and it's around the August or September of 2020, you can definitely hit me up. And if I haven't used them by then, which I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of excavating or block laying or whatever you want to call it during the fall/winter time, let me know. So I'm gonna go ahead, make lunch, start the smoker, start the last row, and then we'll figure out what we have to do with the steps, and then we'll figure out what we're going, how much dirt we're going to take off over there, which is perfect because that means that I'm gonna be able to put that dirt I take out there in this crevice. It will work out. Okay, I'm gonna go make lunch. Okay, so rock wall main portion is done. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't really see anything that's demonstrably wrong with it. I think maybe one of the ledges might be a tad off, but I'm gonna take a hammer real quick and just kind of nudge it forward if I can on a couple of them. But other than that, I think it's doing pretty good. Show you what I did over here. Over here, just kind of filled it in with dirt. Kind of looked like it was forming into the dirt. And later, that's going to be rised up, and right here is going to be steps. So next step is the steps. That's going to be a little bit of a rough one because those have to be individually leveled. And leveling is probably the hardest of everything. It's most time consuming. So let's go over the steps. So steps are as follows. You basically cut out what you need in the dirt. You don't want a very sharp shovel, probably a very narrow shovel, just because you're going to need to kind of, it's just a lot easier, let's put it that way. The wide mouth shovels are not the easiest. And then you want it a little bit low and a little bit deep, because you have to realize that the block is going to be the end of your step. You also have to realize that you have to account for the height of both. So it could be a tad cumbersome, but just remember, like for instance, this is it's going to start on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of those right there. I'm going to start digging out the dirt to meet the bottom one. And these are going to be the step platform. They're going to have to be at least 3 wide because of how these are set up. So I want the thin side to be facing going in, so that way the wide is out. It looks a lot more appealing. I might have to move some of the rocks, maybe even at the pasta, but we'll get to that point when we get to that point. I think it's going to take approximately 3 steps, maybe 4. I don't think it's going to take 4 steps after kind of doing the math on it, but we'll take that as it comes. So the first thing is I'm going to dig out the first step. Okay, so I took out some dirt behind there. It's going to be the difference between the length of that brick and this style of brick. So once I lay down these, I'm going to pack dirt in behind it and set the other one on top. That way it's not like teeter-tottering. And the outcome is something like that. The more you walk on them, the more it's going to kind of sink into place. But later, like I said, there'll be rocks over here that are more decorative than anything else, and I'll probably put some on that side as well. Or, I don't know, I might just leave it like that and just put some. This area is going to be grass with some roses in the center of it, so I'll do some contemplating on that. But same thing. I already compacted the dirt behind. Going to be putting the next row of steps, and then from then forward, just a lot of the same over and over until we get to the very top. And then hopefully we'll have 3 to 4. Thinking it's probably actually going to be 4 now. Good steps. Okay, change of plans. Because this is so much of a slope, and that plant is, I don't really want to move it. And the further we go up, the narrower it's going to get on this side too. The 4th step. So next one, I think is probably only going to have 3, and then it'll remain on 3, going all the way up. And step number 2 done. I have 2 more steps with 3 stones each. I guess that's 4 the other ones, so 14 more stones. Okay, there's the finished result. Garage dog will christen thee. I don't know if this is the equivalent of the wine bottle not breaking. Probably is. So, when thinking about doing another one, I could do one more. There's really not that much of a space left, and I think I'll double check, but I may do another one later. I don't know. So right now, as it stands, it'd be a little bit taller than the wall, which the wall's already going to be a tad taller than the dirt. I don't really want to have to step down. I don't know. But either way, this is either 75% done or 100% done, depending on how the leveling of the process works. But it's not that hard to create them. It's hard, don't get me wrong, but it's not that difficult, let's just put it that way. I use some of this material, as well as I have some dirt that has 80% gravel in it, so I use that to help fill it out. That's why you see a lot of other dirt on there. Yeah, here it is. Let's go from a little bit further of an angle. Even better, let's go from over here. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Maybe in the future I will add another one, like I said, but I really don't know about the level of the dirt. So I'm kind of, I don't know, I have to work on that, but this is how you end up doing some steps and a rock wall. Not too bad, I must say. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or did I do something wrong, did I do something right, who knows? Let me know in the comments below. By the way, I did use a level, that level, on the steps, and with the exception of maybe the top one being a hair off, they are level. So that's something to also check. Same thing with the wall. You want to put the level on the wall. I did it every row, but you probably don't have to, because as long as the first step is done correctly and you're not putting the lip on it, you should be level. But who knows? Well, this is it. Definitely put a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe. I will keep on posting. The next video I'm going to be doing is installing some paver lighting. It's going to involve a transformer box, some waterproof 12 gauge or 14 gauge, I forget, wiring. It doesn't have to have a ground because it's a 12 volt, so it's just pretty simple, fairly cheap. Got 100 feet of it, which should be more than enough than I need. And then it's going to be right about there. I mentioned I have a 1 1/4 or 1.5 inch PVC pipe that runs underneath this. The box is going to be mounted on the wall, going through there, and then around, and then underneath the pavers. So I do have to lift up a couple and drill some holes in them, which is unfortunate, but you have to do what you have to do. And after that, be doing some edging. You see the blocks laid out already. And after edging, just have to put some sand in the cracks, and I think this should be done. And some final details like stones for the dirt right there and stuff like that, but at least the main projects will be done. I guess, yeah, I'll still end it on here, but I'm going to be putting the same stones like you see on top of the steps on top of the wall, and that's nothing difficult. But I can't do that right now because of that dirt, so I continue to do that. So probably going to have to get started on that. I'm hoping it's going to be a lot of leveling, like I said, but it should be nice. Okay, enough babbling. I ranted on a couple different subjects I probably shouldn't have already. So have a good night, subscribe, thumbs up, catch everyone later.